Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. So we are enjoying the last few rays of sunlight. So I wanted to make a video with some natural light because all of the previous videos I've done, I've had to do with artificial light, and you know, artificial light is not always the best. Of course, natural light isn't perfect either, but this will be my first 30 inks, 30 days video with natural light. So we'll see how this one goes. So today's ink is Purple Heart. This is an exclusive from Goulet. They have, well, I know of at least 2 exclusive Noodlers inks that Goulet has. This one and Liberty's Elysium. And I have to say, I was a little disappointed with this ink when I got it, and I haven't used it very much. But I decided today to just look at the ink for what the ink is and not what I wished that it was. And for some reason, the bottle is leaking. The bottle is leaking, or there's something going on with the cap here. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I keep wiping it off, and then I keep getting ink on my fingers. Maybe I just didn't wipe it off well enough. Anyway, maybe I need to wash the cap. Oh well, you can't play with a pen without getting some ink on your fingers, you know? Anyway, what was I saying? Noodler's Purple Heart. For some reason, I can't find my swatch card of it, so I'm just going to make another one. This is why I need to organize my swatch cards, which I'm going to get around to one of these days. Oh, I'm trying to dip my Go in the ink. Oh, wait, actually, I don't need to. I've got my glass nib pen here, but I've got the ink in my Go, so we'll just use this one. So this is Noodlers Purple Heart. Now, my problem with this ink is it's not purple. It's burgundy, it's maroon, it's brown, it's something else, but it's not purple. So I want it to be purple, and it's not. Therefore, I'm very disappointed in it, which is not good. I just need to appreciate the ink for what it is and not what I wish it was. I mean, look at that. That is a very pretty ink. I don't think it's purple, but it's still a beautiful color. Okay, so we are going to set him aside to dry for a little bit, and I am going to work on my writing samples. Anyway, here is the bottle, and this is the color that I thought the ink was going to be. I mean, the Purple Heart is purple. The ribbon is purple. The heart is purple. I mean, the metal itself is purple. So, I don't know where this burgundy ink came from, but I just have to let it go and appreciate the ink for what it is. Okay. Oh. You know what? I just did a little swatch with this guy, and I need to swatch in my book. But I didn't save the Q-tip. That's okay. I have plenty of Q-tips, and I have plenty of ink. Okay. For some reason, the Q-tip is bubbling. Can you see that on the end there? What the heck is that? I don't know. Maybe it's not fully saturated. That is just freaky. I think there's something alive in the ink. I don't know. Okay. All right, so we are going to swatch in our book. Very wet ink. And I need to save this one because I'm going to do another swatch in a minute. So there's no point in getting yet another cotton swab. And I will close this up for the moment because we don't want to have an ink catastrophe. And now that I have moved over here to a different spot, I don't have my Sharpie to write on my paper. But I've got this other pen. I don't even know what kind of pen this is. What are you? Oh, this is a tool pen from Office Max. T-U-L, tool. And somebody recommended these to me a while back. Actually, right before I started using fountain pens, so I haven't used these very much. They're kind of a needle tip pen, and they're okay. They're not the best. I don't think they're the best anyway. The person that recommended them to me really likes them. So, what are we writing here? We are writing purple heart. And I have to be careful when I'm writing with a ballpoint because I tend to press so hard that I make an imprint in the paper. And that's one reason why I have switched to felt tip pens like Sharpie pens and fountain pens. So I don't make impressions in my paper, because when I first started my bullet journal, I was using one of those Bic pens that has the 4 colors in it so I could color code stuff. And I really liked it, but I was just, you know, gouging lines in my notebook, which wasn't good. So I'm trying to let this guy dry a little bit, which is why I like to pre-swatch this page so we don't have to wait for it to dry. Okay, so we are moving on. Let me see. So we are up to, I keep shifting stuff around, but I never seem to have enough room. And I think I'm zoomed in kind of close. Let's see. I'm still working with my new camera rig, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to use it. So bear with me. Gosh, yesterday's ink was kind of a brownish ink, and today's ink is kind of a brownish ink. And I was concerned about having too many blues in a row. Not that I have that many blue Noodlers inks, but I have a few. And here I'm having some brownish inks together. So who knows? You never know. So this is, let me see. I don't like the date up there. I guess I'm going to keep putting the date over here. I don't really like that either, but you know, it works. 4/11. So this is Purple Heart. I think it might be called the Purple Heart, but I'm just going to go with Purple Heart. And I'm still using my Twisby Go. He is hanging in there. I had to, well, it's kind of a long story, but it came apart while I was rinsing it out. And I decided while it was apart that I would go ahead and grease it, lubricate it. So I made a little video about that. So I'll post that in the next day or so. So if anybody needs tips on how to assemble their Twisby Go, hopefully that will be helpful for you. And I just realized I don't have my little pipette over here with water, so I will have to get that in a moment. In the meanwhile, we will set him aside to dry for a bit. Gosh, it sounds like it might be thundering outside. I don't think we're supposed to get rain today. Of course, it just could be a neighbor revving a motor. You never know. But I think Gus heard something and he didn't like it, so here he comes. All right, so here is my Midori MD notebook, and we are up to day 11, and this is Purple Heart. And again, it's not a bad ink, it's just not purple. It's more like a burgundy. I don't know. Of course, he's still drying, so we might come back and visit him in a moment and see what he looks like after he has dried. Okay. Here is my Hobonichi notebook with 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. I might be able to squeeze a quote in there on the bottom, but I don't have to, so I'm not going to. Oh my goodness, you guys can't see any of that, can you? And I like this quote because I feel like it justifies my love of typewriters. Typewriters, fountain pens, paper crafts, all those wonderful things. But again, this paper is showing off some lovely shading. And I feel like our light is fading. I don't feel like our light is fading. Our light is fading. But it does have some nice shading. Okay. And just a quick check on the, oh, excuse me, on the Midori MD paper again, to see how that was drying. It's not showing nearly as much shading on this paper. A teeny bit on the R, but really not much. All right, and now what do we need to do? Oh, I forgot to do my little swatch here. My goodness. How long have I been doing this? You think I would have this down by now? Ah, but we never know the direction that fate will take us. Every day is new. Okay, I feel like this ink is pretty wet, and I feel like we need to give it a chance to dry before I try to swatch over it with my second pass. So I will pause for a sip of my tea. Today I am enjoying some Thai Fu, which I learned about from the Cormoran Strike novels by Robert Galbraith, and I forget where I bought that. Some grocery store. I don't know. Somebody had it. I'm blowing just a bit. Okay, pass number 2. And we will also give that a moment to dry. Do you ever blow on your inks? I only do on video. Because in my everyday life, I don't care if the ink takes a while to dry. I'm just writing along and I just take whatever comes, and sometimes I smear it and sometimes I get it on my hand and sometimes it dries without me even noticing the difference. Okay, one more pass. Alrighty, so now I have my pipette with some water, and we will give him a couple of drops. If I can get the water to come out of the pipette, my goodness. And I am watching the clock for 30 seconds. Ooh, and I suppose I better find something to wipe this with. Where's my... Oh, here's my paper towel right here. I knew I had one, but I need to find a clean spot because I was wiping off the lid of the Purple Heart bottle. So I don't want to smear Purple Heart ink all over my notebook. Let me see. I suppose that's a clean corner. I might need to get another paper towel. We'll see. This is good. Has it been 30 seconds? I think it has. And I see some ink movement here. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. So I'm trying to get it up by the camera, but without hitting the camera stand. So please excuse me as I hold my book sideways. But it did take away some of the top color. It's looking very pink underneath, but it's still readable. It's still legible. And again, this paper is not happy about being wet. I'm taking some of the book every time I wipe the ink. But yes, this one does have some resistance. Now here's Proctor's Ledge from yesterday. That barely moved at all. So this one is not nearly as water resistant, but it still does have some water resistance. So very interesting. And our swatch down here is still drying. Okay, was there something else I needed to do? I can't remember. Oh my goodness, the light is fading quickly. I might need to turn a light on or something. But my indoor lights are just awful. Just awful. Okay, so we are very quickly going to do some comparisons. I'm going to raise my shade a little bit here and see if that gives us any more light. Which I don't think it did, but you know, we'll do what we can. So here is our ink of the day, Purple Heart. Now before day 1, I did Black Swan and Australian Roses, and for the life of me I could not find the card. So I have made a new card, and here it is. What do you know about that? These guys look so similar, it's uncanny. I don't know what to say. I think this concludes the comparison portion of the video. No, I'm just kidding. But they do look amazingly alike. This one might be a touch darker. You know, where it pools, it's pooling darker. But still, gee, they are so close. Okay, so I pulled out a bunch of different things because I wasn't sure what might match this guy. So here is 3 Oysters Delicious Red Wine, and he is darker and looking more purple. And Kaveco Ruby Red, absolutely not. Okay, I'm taking out the really red ones. There's Noodler Shaw Rose, nope, way too bright. Monteverde Garnet, much too pink. Diatramentis Chianti, much too red. And I'm taking the cards away because when I stack the cards up, the pile gets thicker and I'm afraid it's going to throw shadows because, again, we're losing our light very quickly. Now there is Robert Oster Australian Syrah. And these guys are pretty darn close. Especially these two guys. Well, no. Now that he's over here, he doesn't look quite as similar. Okay, I'm going to move them back. But very similar. Now this one has a tiny bit of green sheen, and these guys do not seem to have any sheen, but very, very close. And Amethyst de Laurel, I thought since it's purple, but no. This is not a purple ink. This is a maroon burgundy ink. Here is Noodler's Ottoman Rose. Again, much more red. And Diatramentis Thomas Alva Edison. Again, pretty close. A little bit pinker, but the same ballpark. And look how it's pooling very darkly right there. Very close to our Australian roses. Faber-Castell Garnet Red. Very red. And again, I pulled out a purple because I wasn't sure what would look good. This is Sailor Shikiori Yozakura. Definitely not. Here's Robert Oster Aster Kieser-Rott. Much too red. And Diatramentis Dante Alighieri. Much too pink. Here is Diamine Syrah, which is much redder than the Robert Oster Syrah. So definitely not a match. Sailor Gentle Grenade, very red. And here is Diamine Amaranth. Now he is definitely in the same color family, but he is just a lighter shade. These guys are both darker, and he's lighter, but he's very close. Sailor Okuyama, kind of red with a lot of sheen. Diamine Carnival, much too red. And nope, red. Here's Diamine Deep Dark Red. Again, very red and very dark, but these guys are dark too. He just has too much red. And here is Monteverde Napa Burgundy. More red and a lighter tone, I think. Here is Black Swan in English Roses, which is much more of a burgundy than its sister ink over here. So again, these guys, very close. And let's see, I'm flipping through some inks here that are just not even close. Here is Birmingham Twilight. I think this is one of the new inks. I think. Is it? I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. But he's pretty close. That burgundy, he does have a little bit of sheen, but a bit redder, I think. And finally, I have the Diamine Inkvent Ink Mulled Wine. He's a bit brighter and a bit pinker. So I've kind of got our contenders here. Can I put these where we can see all of them? I think the camera's in a little bit too close. Oh no, that's good. That's good. Okay. So here's our ink of the day, Purple Heart, looking very burgundy. Black Swan and Australian Roses. These guys are amazingly close. And then Australian Syrah, a bit more burgundy, a bit more red, a little bit of sheen. And the Diatramentis Thomas Alva Edison, a bit pinker, but also very close. So these guys are, they are 4 peas in a pod. So if you're looking for a burgundy ink, this might cover, one of these might cover your needs. All right, well, that is all for today. I think I've covered all my bases. I keep feeling like I'm forgetting stuff, but I think that was everything I wanted to do for today. So I hope you enjoyed this, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.